What's Idaho Public Television's mission? We tell Idaho's story.
Outdoor Idaho takes you to out-of-the-ordinary locations.
Wallace Stegner talked about how the West is a native home of hope, and for generations people have been moving here to seek a better life. There will always be conflicts about use, but people love these public lands, and in the end, you go anywhere else in America, and you come back to Idaho, and you say, we have something really, really special.
Fire is part of our ecosystem, it's part of the land that we live in.
But the conditions under which fires are igniting and spreading are actually changing quite a bit.
We've seen a shift towards much warmer and much drier climate. Fires are burning for longer in the year.
The question is, can you log your way out of large catastrophic wildfires?
For us, being off-grid isn't about a set of rules and regulations, and it certainly isn't about some particular evil that needs to be banished from your life. It's about intentional living every single moment.
Just another day on the homestead.
I feel like I've won the lottery in life to be able to do what I love to do. I can't imagine doing anything else.
We're very proud of our Idaho story. It's impressive. What's fantastic here is not that the lake is more than 1,000 feet deep in its deep spots, but that there's enough fill in the bottom. If you took that out, we'd have the deepest lake in North America, I think. Wow, 2,600 feet would be pretty deep.
Idaho Experience uncovers our state's history in ways you might not expect.
Out of Moscow, Idaho has come a new idea, a new discovery, a new philosophy. It is called Psychiana.
Their images are captivating.
The total effect is just exquisite.
And sometimes painful.
It represents and illustrates a very traumatic and difficult time for the Nez Perce people.
Benedict Renstead and Jane Gay never met each other, but both were photographers in Idaho at the turn of the 20th century, and each focused her lens on a society that most people at the time knew nothing about: Native Americans.
It was a campus for the poor. It was a campus for the people who couldn't afford to go to university. And yet, at the same time, they were the heart of the West. They were the ones that were coming up as children of pioneers. And so they had this attitude that, yeah, we can do this if we can just be given a chance to get an education. And this was the place to do it.
Science Trek explores science topics for kids on the air, on the web, and in 360-degree immersive. Mountain goats are champion climbers. They have powerful shoulder and neck muscles to help pull themselves up steep slopes. Mountain goats can climb up a craggy mountainside at pitches of more than 60 degrees. That's like trying to climb up George Washington's nose on Mount Rushmore. For these players, the other deaf or hard of hearing students and teachers, sounds are the vibrations they feel, and hearing is replaced by the visual language they see. So in scientific terms, sound is just energy. But in human terms, the reality of what is sound is different for those who hear than it is for someone who is deaf.
Idaho Reports investigates behind the scenes and is the only statewide medium to cover Idaho's government. And so you know what's going on, we live stream every legislative committee and floor session, as well as a number of Idaho Supreme Court hearings and other community meetings.
We don't just tell stories, we listen to stories too.
If your heart catches on something that you don't understand, There's a reason, and that reason is probably a story.
You have to understand that history is people making choices, sometimes making really stupid, bad, and occasionally immoral choices. But if you don't understand that about history, there's no way you can understand where you are and what you can get to.
And we try to make a difference in our state.
At Idaho Public Television, we promote lifelong learning by engaging families, educators, and communities to support the entire learning ecosystem.
If you are passionate about automotive, for example, or welding, or whatever it may be, come out and explore. Take that class.
Idaho's a pretty big state with a lot of stories to tell. So kick back and enjoy. We're just getting started.